Since taking charge in September 2022, Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso has made some bold moves. He's cracked down on terrorism, taken back control of land, launched anti-corruption efforts, cut ties with France, built closer ties with Russia, and worked through the tough process of returning to civilian rule. But even with all these efforts, there's still resistance to his leadership in the country. In this video, we're going to break down the latest attempt on Traoré's life and what happened afterward. Burkina Faso had become the symbol of a new, fearless Africa, bold, determined, and ready to stand on its own. Leading this wave of change was Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a 36-year-old soldier who rose to power through a popular uprising. After taking charge, Traoré launched a serious fight against terrorism, corruption, and foreign interference. He spoke out strongly for African unity, control over natural resources, and military self-reliance. His bold stance inspired many across the continent and rattled powerful interests overseas. But fame brought danger. 18 times there had been attempts to kill him by snipers, poison, explosives, even undercover agents. All had failed. But the 19th plan was different and far more dangerous. It began with rumors circulating among intelligence officers. A secret mission called Libya. The goal? Eliminate Traoré before he could sign a major agreement with Mali and Niger, the Sahel Federation Treaty. This deal would join the three countries into a military and economic alliance and remove all foreign troops from their land. The treaty was set to be unveiled at a large public ceremony on March 22, 2025, at La Place de la Révolution in Ouagadougou. Government officials, African leaders, and international media were expected. Traoré received a warning. Don't attend, they'll try to kill you in the open. But he refused to back down. If they attack, let the world see their fear. I won't hide from my responsibility, he said. 2 days before the event, a shipment arrived in Burkina Faso under diplomatic cover from a foreign aid group. Hidden inside was a tiny, high-tech drone built by rogue military engineers. It was nearly invisible to radar, made no sound, and left no heat trace. Its job? Locate Traoré, lock onto him, and explode. At the same time, a spy planted inside Traoré's security team was quietly sending real-time updates to the attackers, his location, security team movements, even private communications. Everything was timed to strike the exact moment Traoré would raise the Sahel Federation flag in front of the crowd. But Burkina Faso had its own defenders. One of them was Fatouma Diallo, a 23-year-old tech genius from Bobo Dioulasso. She'd been secretly monitoring the country's communications networks and had created a special AI system, Project Ndolo, to detect hidden threats, especially drones. At 9:42 a.m. on the day of the summit, the system picked up an unusual signal, a 14.2 kilohertz frequency bouncing between cell towers. It acted like a live video stream, but it was coming from the sky. Fatouma immediately ran a scan, matched it with radar data, and realized what it was. Military drone, silent, invisible. It's on its way, she whispered. She didn't wait for orders. She activated a jamming signal and sent an emergency alert to the head of Traoré's security team. Just moments before impact, the drone lost control and spiraled out of the sky. But the plan had a backup. The mole on the ground tried to detonate the device manually. At 10:01 a.m., Traoré stood proudly on stage, wearing the traditional Faso Danfani, declaring, "Today, we take back our future not as puppets, but as proud, independent Africans." That's when the head of Traoré's security team noticed something odd in the sky, a small object falling fast. "Get down, Mr. President," he yelled, throwing himself over Traoré just as a blast shook the area. Traoré made it out alive. The crowd was shaken, but stood strong. Cheers erupted, and every moment was caught on camera. When the investigation began, it uncovered a deep network of foreign spies, hired fighters, and local insiders. One name kept popping up: the Vulture. He was once a Burkinabé official, now a rogue operator for hire, and on Interpol's most wanted list. In response, Traoré wasted no time. He ordered a full sweep of compromised institutions and border zones. Hundreds were taken into custody, and major security reforms were rolled out. But the most important outcome? The Sahel Federation Treaty was officially signed. That 19th attempt on his life didn't break Traoré, it turned him into something greater. In towns and cities, storytellers now refer to him as Ibrahim with 19 lives, the man who survived not just through luck, but with determination. Kids are being named after him. Soldiers ink his symbol on their skin. Elders say, "The ancestors walk with him." But Traoré doesn't rely on superstition, he understands what's at stake. The vision of a united and independent Africa shines brighter than ever. The day after the failed assassination, Ouagadougou was quieter, but there was a new energy in the air. People stood taller. Young voices grew louder. Graffiti and murals of Traoré jacket ripped from the blast. Fist raised started showing up on walls from Burkina Faso to Mali and Niger. He was no longer just a leader. He was the face of the struggle. Still, Traoré knew the danger of being turned into just a symbol. Symbols can inspire, but they also attract enemies. So, quietly, he gathered his closest allies. Not in the official halls of power, but in an old underground bunker, left behind years ago by the French military. Around a plain wooden table, under a single light bulb, sat the core of the movement: Captain Zongo, cyber genius Fatouma Diallo, General Koyate from Mali, and Dr. Sani Bello from Niger's intelligence service. "They'll try again," Traoré said, calm but serious. From that moment, Operation Iron Roots was launched, a complete overhaul of Burkina Faso's defense and intelligence systems. Fatouma, just 23, was named head of cyber defense, the youngest in the nation's history. Her first move, deploying the Ndolo AI system across all government networks, banks, and communications. Captain Zongo formed the Phoenix Unit, an elite team trained in stealth missions, counter-espionage, and rapid response. Their job wasn't just protection, it was to strike first. They answered only to Traoré. Meanwhile, regional allies were stepping up. Colonel Goita from Mali and General Chiani from Niger began sending elite teams to support the new order in Ouagadougou. What began as cooperation was turning into real unity. The Sahel Federation wasn't just an idea anymore, it was taking shape. Plans for a joint military, a shared currency, and the removal of any foreign troops not aligned with African interests were already underway. But far from over, the threat was preparing its next move. In a remote desert hideout near Sabha, Libya, the Vulture reappeared. His real name was Jacques Lemoine, a man with 2 passports and 2 faces. On paper, he was a business consultant. In reality, he ran covert operations for powerful companies hungry for West Africa's minerals. For years, Lemoine helped stir chaos in countries that tried to stand up to foreign interests. Now, he had one goal: to take down Ibrahim Traoré. Through bribery and threats, he built a new team. It included former French special forces, a disgraced American tech expert, and 2 undercover agents pretending to be journalists supporting African unity. Their plan was called Silk Guillotine, a quiet, up-close hit that would blame one of Traoré's own people. But things didn't go as they hoped. In northern Burkina Faso, near the Tambao manganese mine, Traoré announced a public visit. The mine had recently been taken back from foreign hands and put under national control. The visit was meant to send a strong message. Burkina Faso was taking ownership of its own resources. Lemoyne's team saw it as their perfect chance. 2 assassins blended in with the media crew. One had a hidden weapon, a small injector filled with a slow-killing poison. The other had a disguised camera, set to capture the chaos and spin it in the Western press as a local uprising. But they weren't alone. Fatuma was monitoring everything. Her AI system picked up strange data from the camera days before the event. When matched against military watch lists, it triggered an alert. The Phoenix unit acted fast. Before the handshake even took place, the threat was neutralized. One assassin pretended to drop something. The other was quietly removed under the cover of a medical emergency. No panic, no scene, just precise action. Traoré kept walking. He shook hands with workers, picked up a child, and stood proudly before the crowd. "We don't run from darkness," he said. "We shine until it disappears." Surviving another attempt on his life didn't make Traoré proud. It made him more grounded. He kept going back to the people, to the streets, the troops, the mothers and fathers who trusted him with their children. Now, across the Sahel, people say, "He walks beside death, but death dares not touch him." He's known by many names: the Iron Flame, the Panther of Faso, the President with 19 lives. But whenever he's asked, Traoré simply says, "I'm just one voice. If I fall, let thousands rise and speak louder." And they will, because legends don't fade, they grow. What do you think about this situation? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more.